about betrayal. Betrayal. It is such a painful thing to happen to anyone. And betrayal in a relationship, betrayal in a family relationship, betrayal of any sort is life altering. It's like life changing. Just putting my phone on do not disturb. So betrayal is huge and it impacts us, in many different areas of our life, but it usually stems from a betrayal that we are have internalized as a child, and so we interpret betrayal as love. We attract the kind of people that betray us because that's what we're used to, but um, oh god, I lost my train of thought. Anyways, we're talking about betrayal and how we can be so sideswiped by betrayal. And of course, betrayal is something that is not something that we do to ourselves. It's something that someone does to us. But there are ways of being responsible for yourself in how you move through the betrayal, how you move past the betrayal, and how to do that. So, we're going to talk about that today. Tell me where you're joining me from. I see one person here on YouTube, and or maybe it's where are you? Maybe it's Facebook. I can never tell. Where are you joining me from? Just put in the chat your city. I'm in Toronto, Canada. It's like horrible weather outside. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I was in Costa Rica. It ain't the same weather, I'm telling you that much. But I love my city, Toronto, and my doggies are here, my man is here. So this is where I live, but let's go into betrayal. So the definition of betrayal is the act of violating a person's trust or confidence in you, right? So being betrayed, it means someone violated your personal trust and your confidence in them. So, how do you move on from that? How do you move past that? Well, the trauma of it can become something we easily hold on to and allow to move with us, right? That it runs our life. Like this betrayal can run our life and it makes us, fearful of moving forward. Hi Lisa, thanks for joining. We're talking about betrayal today. It can be difficult to move on from betrayal. We can hold on to this betrayal and make it our story. We can, be a victim to it longer than we need to be. I mean, there is a level of victimhood of betrayal. I mean, I know as a child I was betrayed so many times. I can't even tell you. I was betrayed by an abuser, sexually abused, so huge betrayal there. And then I was betrayed by my father, um, by him not uh, making an effort and fighting for me to see me on a regular basis, whereas he did see my siblings. And there's all kinds of stories around why that happened. My mom was blocking him and all of that, but that doesn't change the way that I felt, and I felt betrayed. And so going into relationships later on in my life, I chose men who were going to betray me. Why? Because I had to learn that lesson to heal that wound. And this is how I ended up taking responsibility for the betrayals I've had in my life. So I've had, multiple betrayals in my grown up, romantic relationships with people cheating, lying, telling me they don't love me anymore. That's a big betrayal, right? Like how can they just not love me? Like what, right? And so big heartbreaks along the way. And how did I move on to then continue to want to date and continue to go on more journeys with men, not that many, but to date anyway, and then to commit to Jerry again and risk getting betrayed? Well, here are some of the things that um, that you can do in order to move forward. And one of the things, hang on, I'm just gonna um, I just thought of something that I don't want to forget, but I don't want to talk about it just yet. I'm just going to look at this chat, hide message, social comment display here. Click on. I'm trying to read the comments from YouTube. How can I do that? There was a comment. Okay, Portland, Oregon. Oh, I'm seeing the chat. Thank you, Kay. You're from Portland. Oh my gosh, I used to live in Eugene way back in the day. So good. Okay, so what are some of the things we can do to move past betrayal, to not carry it with us forever and ever and just become like skittish, skittish little cats? I'm on YouTube. I'm going. Dalton Interactive. I'm going. I'm there. So hopefully you can refresh or something. I'm going on YouTube. Maybe I'm not on YouTube. I don't know. Maybe I'm just on Facebook. Anyways, sorry if I'm not on YouTube. We'll have to fix that. But I did get a notification saying that I'm on YouTube. So, okay. So, in order to move past betrayal, there are several steps we have to do, right? We have to heal. We have to go inward. We have to learn that we are not bad because someone betrayed us. We are not bad because we were betrayed. See, these are the stories that we tell ourselves. Oh, I must be a bad person, or we feel shame as if I am bad, right? Like just because someone did something bad to us. And these are stories that we carry with us from childhood. So what you do with the information of being betrayed is a real sign of the beliefs that you already have stored in your head. Hi, Amaya. Nice to see you. Hi, Tare. I don't know who that is. Maybe I do, but I don't know your handle. Nice to have you here. So, the number one thing to do to get, hi, Garcia, to get through betrayal is forgiveness. And it's not forgiveness of the other person, although if you can get there eventually, that's great. But I'm not saying, oh, forgive the other person. You don't have to forgive the other person. You get to forgive yourself. Why? Because the reason betrayal hurts so much is because we make it mean something about us. So if my ex-husband tells me he doesn't love me anymore, this actually happened. He doesn't know how to move forward, but he doesn't love me anymore. And I make that mean to I make that to me I can't even talk. I make that to mean that I am unlovable. That's a big stretch, right? He doesn't love me anymore. That doesn't mean I'm unlovable, it just means he doesn't love me anymore. But what I made that mean, because of my issues from being betrayed by my dad, who didn't really display that he loved me unconditionally, I never got that love from a man. So I immediately made that mean that I am unlovable as an absolute, right? And so you get to really go deep into why it is that you make up these huge, grand beliefs about yourself when something like this happens. Because someone can break your trust and you can be like, oh, well, now I don't trust that person anymore. Bye. And move on with your life. But most of us make it into this huge thing. And, not to downplay it, of course, because That was the moment that my marriage ended to my ex-husband, when he said, "I don't love you anymore." Because also I didn't have the tools to work through that within the marriage. And part of me was ready to get out of the marriage anyway. And so we both created this moment. And we can yell at the top of our lungs till the cows come home that it was the other person's complete fault and none of it was our responsibility. But this is where we get to take full responsibility for our life. Why was I in a relationship with this man who then ultimately said he didn't love me anymore? That was my choice, right? And this was his betrayal was a really great moment for me to understand, like, okay, why did I pick this person? Right? I'm not saying I am taking responsibility for him, but I am taking responsibility for myself. So forgiveness of ourselves is the most important key. Hi, Leanne. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. Miss you, girl. Um, Forgiving ourselves for being in that situation, for having had a pattern in our lives that caused us to attract this situation, forgiving ourselves for trusting our person, the person that betrayed us. Sometimes we can beat ourselves up so hard for, I should never have trusted him. I was so dumb to trust him. No, you weren't. You were just being a normal human being, trusting and loving, and you got betrayed. That doesn't mean anything about you. That just means that you get to forgive yourself for having made those choices. And they really are choices. So that's the number one thing, is to learn to forgive yourself, spend time with yourself, love yourself, do self-care, and really nourish and nurture yourself back to health, right? Back to mental health. And then number two is develop trust. Develop trust, redevelop. My puppy is lying on my legs. He's so cute. Redevelop trust in yourself. So, where in your life have you gone wrong with your self trust? Where have you seen red flags and not followed through? Or not listen to them? Where have you overridden your own boundaries for another person? Thanks, Leanne. She's saying that she loves the way that I reframe betrayal. Yeah. And, you know, where in our lives um, have we overstepped our own boundaries? Because this is the crux of the problem. When we overstep our own boundaries, we are vulnerable to others overstepping our boundaries. And actually, when someone betrays you, they're overstepping your boundary. When someone cheats on you, the definition of cheating is overstepping a boundary, right? The definition of betrayal is breaking someone's trust. So they know it's the wrong thing, right? Most people know that when they're doing something to betray the other person, it's a betrayal. Sometimes it's unwittingly, and that's fine too. So when you learn to trust yourself fully, you're actually not going to be a target for being betrayed. Because even when a betrayal is happening, and even when you are betrayed, the way you respond is not going to be as severe, because you trust yourself and you're like, okay, well, this sucked. And I trust myself that that's a non negotiable. Like, I'm not going to put up with that. And this is how I'm going to move forward. You're strong, you're empowered. But when you don't trust yourself, you are just like vulnerable and open and exposed to this betrayal in a way that you're not empowered to work yourself through it. So learn to trust yourself, do things that build your own self trust, like following through on your own word. Don't promise yourself anything unless you're going to follow through completely 100%. Everybody should be doing this anyway, even if you're not betrayed. So I have many betrayal stories. I already shared a lot of them. Men lying to me, cheating on me, the one, my husband, my ex-husband saying that he doesn't love me anymore. My dad betrayed me, like all the things, right? And so how did I get through that to the other side of still wanting to have a relationship and trusting out there people, right? Trusting people. Well, the only way to really have that level of confidence to go out there again is to do things that scare you and do them anyway because you want them. So, for example, I always wanted a happy, healthy, deeply satisfying relationship. Even though I've had several relationships, I was always looking for that feeling. And I continued even after these horrible relationships. I mean, they weren't all horrible and not all of the relationship was horrible. Just some of the experiences were not great. Um, I still believed that there was something out there for me and that whatever pain I had to go through to get there was meant for me to learn from. And so I wasn't scared to fall on my face again. I wasn't scared. I mean, I was scared, but I was brave enough to push through that fear. And that's where confidence comes from. That's where self-confidence comes from. Self-confidence doesn't come from meditating and being like educated on something. Self confidence comes from doing things scared. Doing, for example, dating, even though you're scared of getting hurt, but doing it anyway, because the outcome you want is a bigger desire than the desire to stay safe. And if you're watching this and you've been betrayed and you're scared to get back out there, you are that person that wants a relationship more than you are scared of going out and getting it. So break through your fear. Stop waiting to not feel fear. You're going to feel fear. You're going to feel fear. So do it anyway. And that's where confidence comes from. So just before I go into more confidence, I am having a show that is airing in a few days. So you can get a free ticket. What happens is you end up getting 2 videos in your inbox every morning to learn from you know, experts that I have interviewed about confidence and how to get your confidence back in dating, how to feel confident as a woman, how to um, just date with confidence, basically, so that you can find the man that was meant for you. So, in my description box somewhere or in my link in the bio on my Instagram channel, there will be a place to sign up for this show coming up. You do have to register in order to get the videos, but it is completely free. So do go and grab that right now before I continue on. Grab a spot. All right. So getting your confidence back is something that you get to do by yourself. And the way to gain confidence in anything is to do it scared or do it messy or do it even though you don't know what you're doing. I mean, do you think, sometimes honestly, when I come on these lives, honestly, I don't feel like I've got my shit together half the time, okay? And I do it anyway. First of all, because I wanna serve you guys and, I wanna show up for my audience. But my self-confidence that might shine through on these videos, if you know me at all, I come across pretty self-confident, pretty self-confident. How do you think I got this self-confidence? Not by just faking it till I make it. It's and not by meditating and not by, um the money I make and not by whatever else people think. It's by doing things that I don't that I'm afraid to do, but doing them anyway. And doing things that I'm not good at and doing them anyway. I started my YouTube channel a year ago, and the videos I had on there already a few years prior were really, really shitty. They're probably still there. You can go look at them. And I just started showing up on YouTube. I didn't know what I was doing. And I gained confidence by doing it. So you gain confidence by doing it. So same with dating. You gain self-confidence in dating by dating. By dating unconfidently first, and then a little bit confident, and then you stop caring what other people think. And then you have your confidence. All right. I hope this resonated. I hope this resonated. And I hope to see you on our Dating with Confidence show that is starting next Wednesday. So grab your free ticket. The link will be everywhere, either underneath the video or in the bio here on Instagram. You will be able to get your free ticket. So join us and learn all about confidence. And I will see you next week on the show, but also on these lives. Mwah! Bye for now.